Hello and welcome to Carmen Miller's Talk of the Town for Milwaukee. I'm your host, Patti Mercer, getting ready to see the Hudson family and learn all about their delicious salted caramels stirred by hand and hope in every bite. Let's check it out. Hi guys, good to see ya. So how lucky am I to spend an opportunity with the Hudson family? Jennifer Hudson.
Rob Hudson.
And you are?
Mari Hudson.
Come on in here a little bit closer, Mari. Mari Hudson. And you are?
Heidi Hudson.
Heidi Hudson. Got the whole family. And what we're talking about today really is a family affair. Your business, Stirred by Hand. What is it?
So we make gourmet salted caramels and salted caramel sauce.
That sounds delicious. And I understand the mastermind behind the recipe is voila, you, Rob.
Slightly. It was my original sauce recipe, but Jenny's adapted it to create some pretty incredible salted caramel candies as well.
And I also love the story about how you came upon deciding to create a recipe for simply caramel sauce. I think that's how it started, and a bag of apples. Please explain.
Well, it was at least a bag of apples, maybe 3 or 4, but we went up to the orchard in Hendersonville to pick apples a few falls ago and bought a little tub of sauce and brought it home with our bushel of apples, and of course the sauce was gone in about 15 minutes, and we looked at each other like, okay, now what are we going to do with the rest of these apples? So
Exactly.
I adapted a sauce that I used to make years ago, a praline caramel sauce for cheesecake, and the rest is history.
Necessity is the mother of invention, and you needed some caramel sauce for your apples. So what did you do, Rob? Just go in the kitchen and start putting together
I took the old sauce, and I knew I had to make it a bit thicker, so played around with it and came up with a pretty good final version. And then we started to share it with friends and family, like for football weekends, and as we're moving into the fall, into football season, and then we were looking at our second adoption.
Which brings us over to these gorgeous ladies, and how it all kind of ties together, because you took this recipe that you created, you shared it with your family and friends, they all loved it, and kind of running alongside at the same time was adopting your girls. So why don't we start with you, Jennifer, and tell me a little bit about the journey of adoption, especially international adoption.
So we will have Mari home for your Christmas Eve.
This is Mari.
Yes, that's our sweet girl. She's 17. And the short story is we had always thought about adoption. We heard this commercial on the Christian radio station about hosting kids that are older, or maybe sibling groups. And when I heard it, I knew. And 11 months later, Mari came home. But when we heard this on the radio station, we both immediately knew, and that was it. And then the rest is history. And now we just brought Heidi home in January.
Hi, Heidi.
Hi. And now I think we're complete.
Oh, wow.
I think we're done now.
So you heard this ad on the Christian radio station, and you just made that call?
I did. I could not wait to get home to make that call. And Rob, I had dropped him off at the airport. As soon as I was off the phone, I sent him a message, and he knew right away. It was a God thing.
And actually was meeting with a colleague later, and he knew we were talking about adoption, and he basically said, Rob, you just need to do it, and you need to do it now. And literally within the split nanosecond said, when he said do it now, came the text from Jenny about this adoption program.
True story.
Oh, you just gave me chill bumps. Okay, now we hear that adoption is complicated, it's difficult. Was that your experience?
It is a roller coaster of a journey, but I will tell you, it's worth it. It's kind of like childbirth. You forget about all that once you get your kids home. But it's a lot of paperwork. It's stressful. You are looking at your email every day for several times a day. I think I lived on my computer just hoping for some kind of news, or did the government approve this or that? But honestly, it is worth it. And there's great adoption support groups that can help you along the way.
Right. Now, Mari, what was going on in your life when all this was happening with your mom and dad? Like, where were you? Come on, talk to me.
Oh, I was in the Philippines.
You were in the Philippines. Were you in an orphanage?
Yeah, I was.
Okay. Did you know that there was possibility, come a little bit closer. Did you know that there was a possibility that an American family might adopt you?
Well, what happened was the social worker on the orphanage, she talked to me alone, and she did mention something about the adoption, and so she showed me the picture of them.
And what did you think?
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah. No,
7th grade, did we mention that? No, just kidding.
Yeah. Which she's not supposed to, because it was not. She's not supposed to show me anything, or she just need to tell me. But
Yes.
she was just like all excited about it. And
While you were in the Philippines, of course, you fell in love with your 2 daughters, but you also saw an opportunity to make a difference in other families and the opportunity for adoption to take place. And how did you come to the idea of partnering this delicious recipe with giving back to an international adoption?
So when we were adopting Mari, we met this family, Nikki and Anthony Esquivel, through our agency. So they've got Anthony is Filipino, and they've got 2 kids, 2 bio kids, and then they adopted 4 kids from the Philippines. So they were a family that would help out other families in adoption throughout the entire journey, and their hearts were always to go back. They felt that tug, and they did go back, and they started an orphanage, a shelter for street kids, for street boys specifically. And so we have remained really close with them.
And for them to be able to rescue some of these kids and be able to pull these young men off the street and give them hope, which is a word that these boys have never enjoyed in their life, just the simple word hope.
Wow.
And for them to be able to go into a environment where they are loved and they're taken care of, they're given an education, and they see hope every single day now. And it's
amazing.
Just amazing.
I mean, they have several kids that have gone from the streets that are in the process of adoption.
I just think that is so awesome, and how you also, the times that we're living in with your website, you can create a product in your own home, and yet market it throughout the world, and then you give a percentage back to continue to help children in the Philippines.
In the Philippines, and then we're also giving back to our agency here in South Carolina as well, for them to be able to help other families that maybe are having a difficult time covering all of the costs in their own adoptions, whether it's domestic or international.
Did you ever think that Carmel's would take on in the speed that they have?
No. I mean, we did hit it right at the season. Really, it was a neighbor that really pushed us into doing something with it. We were adopting at the time, and I was trying to think how I could help contribute. And we had been I love to cook, I love to bake, and my girlfriend, Pamela, she really said, this stuff is so good. Can you make some for me as a gift, and I will buy it from you? And she kept pushing me, Jenny, you can do this. And I will tell you, my community in Springfield and Fort Mill, they are so supportive. It paid for our adoption.
Wow.
It paid for our adoption.
It really
and
was
then
a God
some.
thing.
It really, and people love, not only is the the caramels are really good. Not only are they really good, but they love the story behind it. They love the fact that we support adoption. I help fundraise for families. We give back a lot in the community, but it's a win-win.
If I wanted to buy gifts for my family, how would I do that?
So we love our local store, Crossings on Main. Chip and Kathy, they are amazing, and they carry our caramels throughout the year. A couple other little places carry it in Fort Mill, but we also online or on Facebook, Stirred by Hand, you can order.
Stirred by Hand. And do you offer more than one recipe, or is it basically your signature caramel?
No. We had to expand. So
of course. Rob, back in the kitchen.
We needed more SKUs. So
Yeah.
So we have the regular salted caramel, the original, and then we started playing around. I was reading some articles about how well some whiskeys and rums would pair with.
Ooh,
so we started
pairings.
playing with that, and so now we offer a Jameson Irish whiskey infused salted caramel. We also have a Jack Daniels, and the one that we're most proud of, though, is our family, we love and adore Fusky Island here in South Carolina.
Oh yeah.
And we're using the Fusky Island spiced rum.
Salted caramel.
Salted caramel, and it's truly amazing.
For the person that has everything, the one on your list that's really hard to find something that they don't have, something they would enjoy, what a great gift, because it is unique. And again, it just continues to share the story.
Just think if people, more than anything, if they've been curious about adoption, or they have felt like they want to expand their family, adoption is a wonderful way to do it. And we're proud now that we have a few friends here in Fort Mill that are now going to be adopting from the Philippines. And
That's pretty cool.
So we're anxious to build our own little Filipino community here in Fort Mill.
Well, that's it for this edition of Carmen Miller's Talk of the Town Fort Mill TKK. To see more beautiful homes in our area, simply go to homesfortmill.com. But if you want to give a gift and make a difference in the life of a child, where do you want to go?
StirredByHand.com
Or
Crossings on Main in Fort Mill.
Keeping it local and making a difference worldwide. Until next time, this is Patti Mercer. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.